Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. Alright, today we are going to be bringing you another Rebel Clash deck profile. Today we are going to be doing it on Copperajah V and Copperajah Vmax. Alright, I've given this deck a deck name, and that deck name is Rebel Stampede. Oh yes, Rebel Stampede. I love the name for that deck, and the reason why I call it Rebel Stampede is because if you are not careful, this deck will basically run you over and stomp on you. It will run you over and stomp right on your face. I mean, that is Copperajah Vmax. It is a big, massive elephant. So, we're going to be looking into that today. But before we get started, we're going to be doing some promotions and shout-outs. So, let's get into that. First of all, you guys should check out Nonstop Gaming. Alright, they have a wide and great selection of Rebel Class singles and other singles from the Pokemon TCG on their website. You can basically do PayPal with them right now online, and if you do, once you do, go to their website and you will get 5% off of your order because they have a quarantine deal going on. So you automatically get that once you go through their website and do PayPal. Alright? It's not. Okay. There. All right. 1 second. Okay. Here we go. Alright guys, I want to give a shout out to Anteku Nation. Alright, they do Cardfight Vanguard videos, Cardfight Vanguard 0 videos for Cardfight Vanguard. Cardfight Vanguard is another trading card game. Yes, I know, me talking about Cardfight Vanguard on a Pokemon TCG video. But let me give a shout out to them. The person that does these videos is a really great guy. I know them personally. Played card games with them. They need subscribers. They need more people to go to their channel. Cardfight Vanguard is a great game. I mean, I used to play it back in 2012. I traveled all over the country to like regionals and stuff, but yeah, Cardfight Vanguard is a great game. Cardfight Vanguard 0 is like the mobile game for that. It's a great game that you can play during quarantine. So if you're looking for something fun to do, something fun to learn, go play Cardfight Vanguard 0, check out Anteku Nation, and hit them up. So, yeah, that'll be very good to do. Alright, guys. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. Alright. Now, let's get back to this deck profile. Alright. we are going to do this. We are talking about Copperajah V. Come on. There we go. We'll do that. We're talking about Copperajah Vmax here. This big tanky boy. Let's get into this deck profile. There we go. Alright. We have ourselves a 3-3 line of Copperajah V and Copperajah Vmax. Copperajah V has 220 HP. We're really not going to go over the attacks about Copperajah V. Because we're really just going to basically evolve it to the Vmax and use those attacks. So I'm just going to skip right over that. But going into Copperajah Vmax, it has a whopping 340 HP. That is probably the highest Vmax to date. Alright? 340. Alright? Its first attack, for 2 metals and a colorless, it does 100 damage. And if your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, it does 100 more damage, which is very, very good. So already it could basically one-shot some Vs. Or it could do like a hefty ton of damage. 200 is nothing to scoff at. You know. So, and then its next attack for, what is it, 3 metals. 3 metals and a colorless. It does a straight 240 damage. Straight 240 damage. Alright. Now, Copperajah Vmax is basically, there's been a lot of deck profiles on Copperajah Vmax so far. So this deck is basically kind of similar to most of those. It's standard, so let's jump into the rest of them. Alright, we have ourselves 2 copies of Zacian V. Like I said, a lot of people have done videos on this. Yes, there is a glare, but you know, this is Zacian V. You know what Zacian V is. Zacian V is in here for its Intrepid Sword ability. And what that does is that you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you find a metal energy within those 3 cards, you can attach to Zacian V and add the other cards to your hand. You know what I'm saying? Or all of the cards to your hand. But if you find a metal, you attach to Zacian V. That's what it basically says. Alright. But yeah. But that's what it basically says. But yeah, like I said, there's been many deck profiles on this deck. And basically, I'm not going to be showing you anything new. I just really like this deck and wanted to do a deck profile on it. So, let's go right into it. We have ourselves 1 copy of Lucario Melmetal Tag Team GX. It's in here for its Full Metal Wall GX attack. It cost 1 metal. Is it 1 metal energy or 1 colorless? 1 colorless energy. But yeah, it's 1 colorless energy. But if you have a metal energy or a second metal energy attached to this guy, I mean, you're only going to attach metal energy in this deck. So, if you have a second metal energy attached to this guy, you basically, what you could do is first, all your attacks are -30 for the rest of the game. And then if you have an extra energy, you can basically take all of the energy off of your opponent's active Pokemon and put them in a discard pile. So like if they've accelerated a whole bunch of energy, you can basically just take them right off their active Pokemon, put them in a discard pile, and you can set them back for the game. And your attacks are now 30 damage less. Well, their attacks are 30 damage less. They do 30 damage less, you know. So, which makes this even more tankier. So 240 becomes 270. Alright. We have ourselves 2 copies of the Dedenne GX. The Dedenne GX is in this for its Day-Day changeability. Alright. Discard your hand and draw up to 6 cards. Well, draw 6 cards. Very good draw power. You know, we definitely need that in this deck. So, the Dedenne GX, pretty much a staple in every single deck. Speaking of staples, we have ourselves 3 copies of Jirachi. Jirachi's in there for its Stellar Wish ability. When it is active, you can basically put this Pokemon to sleep, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and choose a trainer card from among them and add them to your hand. So you can add a trainer card to your hand. That could be a supporter, an item, a tool, anything you may need for the situation. I think it's very good for this deck because this deck is slow. This deck is slow moving. I mean, we're talking about an elephant here. I don't think an elephant can move too fast. On to the supporters. We have ourselves 4 copies of Professor's Research. Alright. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Alright. Best draw card in the game. It's basically the supporter form of the Dedenne GX minus a card. Alright, we have ourselves 2 copies of Mallow and Lana. Mallow and Lana is very good in this deck because you can heal the damage off of Copperajah V or Vmax. A lot of Pokemon in this format will not be able to one-shot you. I mean, who's going to be able to hit 340 damage? There's not too many things in the format that can, you know. And also, once you get off Full Metal Wall, that goes up to 370. Also, if you have the Metal Frying Pan, that's a whopping 400. You're looking at trying to do 400 damage. So, you pair that with Mallow and Lana, you heal off 120 of that damage, and you could keep going. You could keep rolling over and basically just run your opponent over. Just like a Stampede. Come on, there we go. We have ourselves 2 copies of Cynthia and Caitlin. This deck is basically kind of going to use like a little tag call engine. You know, Cynthia and Caitlin is very good to draw cards. It's also very good to get supporters back from your discard pile. So you discard a card from your hand, draw 3 cards, and then you get a supporter card from your discard pile. You can get a Mallow and Lana back, or you can even get Boss's Orders back. Boss's Orders is a new card from Rebel Clash that basically says you can bring up one of your opponent's Pokemon from the bench to their active spot. This is basically like Lysender, like they used to have in the old format. But But yeah, this is a very great gusting effect, and you can get that back with Cynthia and Caitlin. You can also get back Sycamore, Malilana, like I said before, but this combo is very, very good to help you get supporters and things that you could use, also draw cards. Alright guys, we have ourselves 4 copies of Quick Ball. Quick Ball, what you do is you discard a card from your hand and search your deck for a basic and add it to your hand. This lets you basically get any of your basics in your deck. The only card this cannot search out is Copperajah Vmax. This card can get everything else, which is beautiful. Alright guys, we have ourselves 4 copies of Pokemon Communication. What Pokemon Communication does is that you can swap a Pokemon from your hand and get one from your deck. You swap it with the one from your deck and add it to your hand. Very plain and simple. This helps you find your Copperajah Vmaxes. Alright? We would use Evolution Incense in this deck, but I feel that this card is a lot better. Especially if there's a Pokemon in your hand that you do not want to have or want to swap in your deck. It's very good for finding the pieces you need. Alright guys, we have ourselves 4 copies of Metal Saucer. I want to say Metal Patch so bad, but this is Metal Saucer. Alright. You basically can get a metal energy from your discard pile and attach it to one of your metal Pokemon on your bench. Very good metal acceleration, which helps Copperajah Vmax. Alright? We have ourselves 4 copies of Switch. Alright, Switch is in here to basically help Jirachi retreat out of the active. It also can help you retreat your Copperajah Vmaxes if you need to. Because this is a big boy. He has 4 retreat costs. So yeah, retreating him is a big hefty price. You really don't want to do that. So we have Switches in here to help us do that. You know, switch your active for one of your bench. Very plain and simple. We have ourselves 3 copies of Metal Frying Pan. What Metal Frying Pan does is that you attach it to your metal Pokemon and it reduces the damage that your opponents do by 30. Alright? Reduces the damage by 30, and it also takes off their weakness. So it's very good against those fierce fire Pokemon. So, very good card in this deck. Very solid. Alright, 2 copies of Tag Call. What Tag Call does is that you search your deck for a tag team, a card with tag team in its name, and well, 2 copies of cards with tag team in their name, and add them to your hand. So you can get Lucario Melmetal. You can also get Cynthia and Caitlin and Malilana. This card helps you search out those tag team cards, which is very good. Alright, we have ourselves 1 copy of Escape Board. Escape Board's in here to help Jirachi retreat out of the active. You attach it to Jirachi and the retreat cost becomes 1 less. Also, if they are paralyzed and they're asleep, you can basically retreat using the Escape Board, which is very good. Alright. 1 copy of Great Catcher. This is another great gusting effect. If you don't have your boss's orders and you want to bring up a GX Pokemon from your opponent's bench, you use Great Catcher. You discard 2 cards to do so. Discard 2 cards, bring up one of their GX Pokemon from their bench to their active spot. And you can basically damage them or get the KO. Very, very solid trainer card. Let's see, where do I want to put this at? Down here. Let's put it up here. Alright. 1 copy of Reset Stamp. Alright. What Reset Stamp does is that you shuffle your opponent's hand into their deck and they draw cards equal to the number of prizes that they have. If they have 4, they draw 4. If they have 3, they draw 3, 2, 1, etc., etc. You basically want to do this when they've taken a lot of prizes, and you basically want to just kind of stop them in their tracks. With this deck is going to basically be it's not going to take prizes for a while, so you're going to have an advantage when you use this card and stop them. And once you do, and once you get Copperajah Vmax up and running, you're just going to steamroll right over them. Alright? Let's get into the energy. We have ourselves 4, 8, 12 metal energy. 12 basic metal energy for your metal Pokemon. Alright? This is the fuel of the fire. Alright? This deck is... I like this deck. This deck is basically a tank deck. And it hits hard. Yes, it's slow to begin with. It's slow to start. And you may think you may be losing. But once this deck gets rolling, there is no stopping it. It basically hits like a juggernaut. Alright? Well, guys, that is the video. I hope you like it. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out Nonstop Gaming and Teku Nation. I will have links to those descriptions down below of the channel. So make sure you check those out. And as always, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.